My name is Sean Murtaugh.
I'm Tony Winters.
And my name is Jarrell Bennett, and we are Gardenation. I'd like to start out by mentioning our user story. We have a single mother whose name is Alyssa. She has 2 kids and a very busy schedule and little to no experience with gardening. She would like her kids to eat healthier, and she would like to cut down on grocery costs. So she goes to work and hears from a coworker about our web application. And it boasts that you can get started in less than 10 minutes. Waiting outside of school one day for her children, she decides to open up the web application. She sees the video and it tells her how to create her own square garden, and she clicks the Let's Get Started button.
Alyssa then goes to the login page where she sees 2 options. She can log in with Google or Facebook. However, she decides not to use either and to register with her own email and her own secure password. After she does that, it'll bring her to the screen where she can create her own garden. And the first thing with her garden is she'll have to give it a name. So she'll give her garden a name, and then she'll have to decide how big of a garden she wants to have. We have 2 options right now. We have a 4 or 6 square foot garden she could choose from. And then she has to fill it with her vegetables. She knows what vegetables her kids like to snack on, so she'll pick a few of them. And then she'll pick a few more that will go well with some of her favorite recipes. At the bottom, she'll select her city that's nearest to her. And what that will do is it'll allow the app to generate some specific tasks and prompts that are unique to her garden based on her region. And then she'll click Create the Garden. It brings her over to her task list. The first task that she sees is that she can go ahead and plant her carrots. So she'll plant her carrots, and then she'll check the box saying that she's completed that task. And then she scrolls down and sees it created a new task now, and now she has to water her carrots. But she doesn't really know exactly how much water the carrots need, so she'll click the information icon, and that'll tell her exactly how much water the carrots will need. So she can close out of that, and she'll check that off the task list, and that will bring her back to her page. She'll click to go back where she can view her garden. And since she saw how easy it was to create a garden and grow some vegetables on her own, she created a bunch more, but she didn't have quite enough time, so she had to go back and delete her onions garden.
So throughout the year, Alyssa's kids can even get involved, and they make their own accounts, and they can share the garden together. So now it becomes a family affair to take care of this garden. So it brings them together, and finally they have some healthier snacks for their kids, healthier items in their lunches, and Alyssa can use fresh organic vegetables for her recipes. So lots of wins. The success of Gardenation is that it takes time-tested gardening information, what really works to cultivate a garden, and puts it right in front of whoever at the exact time that they need it. So they're in small, easy doses, and you don't have to spend an hour, or more, learning how to garden before you can start making a garden. So it tells Alyssa not just when to start in terms of, what date, but also exactly what to do, how to do it, and also gives her tips along the way. So as she's using the app, she becomes an expert gardener incrementally instead of trying to use a manual or a book. So the app is able to scale to kind of a national level just basically by that city data. Users, if there were a community involved, would be able to even add their own data and their own tips and say, this is what worked for me. And it kind of becomes a national way to share the gardening experience, especially just starting out with your whole region. So we see the app as a way where gardeners with no experience, very little time, and very little resources could be a successful gardener right out of the gate in about 10 minutes. So thank you very much for listening to our presentation.